Only the Lord Almighty could convince me to quit. Biden's US President Joe Biden has said only the Lord Almighty could convince him to end his bid for re-election. As he said for a rare prime times interview in an effort to calm Democratic concern over his candidacy. Speaking to ABC News on Friday, Mr. Biden also declined to take a cognitive test and make the results public in order to reassure voters he is fit to serve another term. I have a cognitive test every single day. Every day I have that test. Everything I do, he told to George. The 81-year-old once again pushed back on the idea aired by some Democratic officials and donors that he should stand aside for a younger alternative following his disastrous debate with Donald Trump last week. Throughout the interview, Mr. George pressed the president on his capacity to serve another term. Mr. Biden asking if he was in denial about his health and ability to win. I don't think anybody is more qualified to be president or win this race than me, Mr. Biden said, blaming his poor performance last week on exhaustion and bad cold in the 2020 minutes interview. He also attempted to ease Democratic fear he had lost ground to Donald Trump since the debate, saying pollsters he had spoken to said the race was a toss-up. Rejected suggestions alliance may ask him to stand aside. It is not going to happen, he said. Dismissed repeated questions about what would compel him to leave the race if the Lord Almighty came down and said, Joe Biden, get out of the race. I would get out of the race, he said. The Lord Almighty is not coming down.